Here we are, live, I think, yes. Welcome everyone to our Unlimited Network Mastermind. We get together here every Saturday, and today is June 6th. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, we're already in summertime almost. And we get together as conscious entrepreneurs committed to build up our success, to master our minds, that is the source of our success, let's say, but really to do the work and to build our success from the inside out. So I think that that's really what differentiates, if you want, being, you know, a successful entrepreneur and unconscious and not knowing how the universe works, towards choosing to be conscious and to be open-hearted and to really embody, you know, our presence, our connection with the divine. So all this is our language here. We love it. And I want to welcome all of you and to say thank you for your dedication to your own prosperity consciousness. I think it's important. The ones that we are here in the panel today, we have to excuse Doc Fran was busy today. Arne also, he's teaching a workshop of Unlimited Body in Des Moines. You know, he's a teacher of personal growth and awakening, so he's working this weekend. And I want to say welcome also and thank you to the ones that you are on the other side, just as, you know, seeing the video on live, like right now, directly, and the ones that you're going to see later recording. And you know that you have this video all week long under unlimitednetwork.com/master-mind. The video is there all week. And if you want to be part of the panel, remember to send an email to Arne, A-R-N-E, at unlimitednetwork.com, and then you can be on this side and you can chat and, you know, offer your gifts and your experience and grow with us together. Be more active part if you want. And let's see, today we are going to do something special. But I want to start with celebrating the business that we are in that brought us together here, that we call it the second wave of social media. And is to really understand that social media is growing like viral, like crazy, and it's, you know, more and more a tool that we all use to communicate, to socialize, to get connected, to share our lives, our experiences. So we are all familiar, more or less, with Facebook, with Twitter, with LinkedIn, and you know, all these kind of platforms really help us to connect. At the end, is more and more less frontiers, less separation, and more connection here. So social media is growing very quick, and the second wave of social media is the one that expresses where the companies, there is new companies that are committed to share the benefits that these social media creates and gets. And you know, there is Facebook, for example, makes billions, $14 billion last year, and if we grow, and what we are doing here is to create these new platforms that are willing to share with the users, and especially also with the entrepreneurs that see the vision and the potential of this kind of business. And I want to talk today especially with one of the business that we are in, because we are in two businesses, but one is getting super hot and super exciting, and we are going to use this momentum to excite us. Remember that the better you feel, the more you vibrate, and the more the universe is responding to your own frequency here. So this Monday, next Monday, the following Monday here, we are going to launch the Making Public. Oh my gosh, look who is here. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Heidi. That's a good surprise. I love it. So I'm going to continue, but welcome. You are very open to share and everything later. But the thing is that in this next Monday, we are going to launch publicly the new platform that is called IT. And in this kind of business, remember to mute yourself, Heidi, when we don't talk. Just press on the microphone on the top, and then you get mute and we don't have sounds on the background. But the thing is that this platform is new, is exciting, and unites the possibility of, not the possibility, unites the two biggest major industries of today, that is really social media and e-commerce. So it's a platform that unites that. You're going to play. I mean, you have to come and see. I mean, send us an email, arne@unlimitednetwork.com, to get the link to be part of that webinar that we're going to have on Monday to celebrate the launch and to bring that platform public. I mean, I think we are advancing very well in this creation all together here. And the idea of this kind of business is to really manifest, residual income that keep flowing, every month. That's what we are looking, the kind of conscious entrepreneurs that we are here together. So, Jay, if you want to say something more about the business, I would love to hear something, because I feel like so excited, and I love that. I'm going to put a picture on Facebook because it's kind of the launching going to the moon, and I love the picture, but I was waiting for something, touchable that we could really celebrate, like we are going public, and this is huge. So, Jay, welcome. Say something.
Welcome, yes, thank you. Yeah, it is very exciting, and I think the important thing is, better than to have myself or Monica or anybody on the call really try to explain it, and to get a bigger understanding of it, is to actually to join in on Monday evening, and Monica will get all that information out. But I think it's a unique financial opportunity that's presented to each and every one of us. It's something that most of us are doing already, and this is a way for us to prosper from it. And someone's going to hit it right, and we've been working with a couple groups here, and we believe that they're showing that they're moving on. They found the right ticket. They're changing the face of social media. They're doing some things. I mean, Facebook is obviously the biggest player out there, and and they still have challenges, and people are not happy about some of the things that happen with it, as far as data mining and taking, and who owns the content, and you're going to see in the explanation of what you'll see Monday night is, we're not taking your information. Your content is your content. You can put it up there. You can take it down. You own it. We don't own it. We're not stealing your information. We're not looking to sell your information to anybody. But this is going to give you an opportunity to, to chat, to put up things, to create groups, and to make money from that, and to make money from just what you're doing right now from other platforms, who, instead of them making every dollar and every penny, you're going to get something back. And I think that's important. And if people see the vision of it, it's like anything else. Not everybody's going to see it, and that's fine. You don't want everybody to see everything that you do. But a lot of people are going to see it. A lot of people are going to take a little time to catch on to it. I thought I understood it, then I didn't think I understood it, and then I thought I understood it, and I'm just excited about it. I don't understand everything I do, but I understand that there's potential there. And if you understand that and you're not sure, the great thing is, ask questions. We're in the baby stages. We're developing, and it's coming along, but everything is being done that's said was going to be done. And anything that you build, there's challenges. There's different things that come along, and add-ons and minuses. But the best thing is, get the information straight from the horse's mouth. Be there Monday night. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you're connected with Arne and Monica, Arne, I know, is great in sending out all that information, and Monica will do that the same. And get on the webinar. There's limited space. They've been filling up the last couple of weeks because everybody's excited about the announcements, and it grows exponentially. So if you have any interest, if you're part of social media and you're not profiting from it, this is your opportunity too. So I'll send it back to you, Monica, or
thank you.
Okay.
Yes, great. Thank you, Jay. I'm excited too to be part of this. It's like I totally get what you say here, because I remember in the past, when fax came out, and I didn't understand how fax can work. I don't need a fax, and then we use fax all day long. And after, like the electronical cellular phones, I don't need any cellular phone. I'm okay with the way I am. And at the end, I cannot pass today without cellular phone. So I'm sure we are evolving here. I mean, it's inevitable. But I'm sure I also sense inside my heart that iGrowNet and the new platform is a new way. It's showing up a new way of shopping for us. That is not about bombarding us with advertisers and you have to buy this or whatever. It's really about making easy whatever it is that you want, or whatever that your friends or your your environment, the kind of, you know, people that you hang out with, whatever they buy or whatever, you can share that in a very natural way, and it's not about the old way of marketing that you have to market based on fear, or that you must buy this, or, oh my gosh, I think we are evolving big time, and I want you to know, you know that. So if you're interested, please email us, Arne, A-R-N-E, at unlimitednetwork.com, just asking for the link for the webinar on Monday. And we will send you the link, and you will register and attend, and then from there on you call us back if you feel like you feel connected, but give yourself this opportunity to know about this, especially in the beginning times, so you can be part of the creation. That's something that I feel very grateful myself, you know, this or that, but to be part of something that is very new and evolving is challenging and empowering at the same time. So thank you. So that's the section that I wanted to say about change, the excitement. But today, we are going to revise, and I think it's very interesting and powerful too, the entire, all what we had worked with Catherine Ponder. Right now we are working with the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity from Catherine Ponder. I love the work. I think all of us, we are excited about this energy that we are connecting here, the way that she unites, you know, the clarity of our minds with the prayers from our heart. She never forgets. I mean, she was a minister of Unity Church, so she really promotes, you know, this connection with the presence of God within, with the presence of the universe, with realizing that we are extensions of Source, you know, and how this universe, Source, God, whatever we want to call it, higher power, divine intelligence works, and we are an extension of that. So we are really practicing here to master the divine creations, the co-creators that we are. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you there for a second, I think. I didn't know if it was me or if it was you.
Okay, great. Well, if it's not too much, I'm so excited that I can keep talking by myself here. But so let's begin with chapter 1. You know, that was really teaching us. The title of that chapter is The Shocking Truth, you know, about prosperity, and was really teaching us to differentiate, you know, where we come from, where the deep understanding of, yeah, the understanding of being unconscious, let's say, of not knowing who we truly are, okay, was really based on fear and separation and scarcity and effort and all that stuff. So on that chapter, personally, I really understand, and I got, if you want, the permission, capital letters, to support my wish of being financially independent, and not only independent, financially free, you know, and understand with compassion, I will say, that we come from that consciousness, you know, religion, understanding that the poor was going to heaven better than the rich, and, you know, how the rich people, all these ideas that we have from experience probably, but remember that that experiences really come from unconsciousness. We from ignorance, I will call it, you know, and she called it radically, you know, that's a sin. Poverty is a sin. Poverty is a problem of our planet, and poverty doesn't depend of the people outside you. It's really an extension of our own consciousness. So when we wake up individually and we choose to change our mindset and to be more in alignment with the divine, with abundance, with unlimited potential, we start to experience that. And we come out from what I say myself, you know, the el fango, I don't know how to say that in English, but from you know, the clay, you know, like we come out, you know, from density, and we are much more lighter. So that chapter for me was very powerful, you know, to have the right to be rich. As soon as I decided to be financially free some years ago, 5 or 6 years ago already, my gosh, I really face many people around, saying, well, money is not the source of happiness. Why you want money so much? And blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I know it's not the source of happiness, but I know it can express happiness. And I want to make peace with that. I do want to come out from scarcity, So I love it. It's a very empowering chapter. And I would love to hear if any one of you have something to say about how impacted you to realize that not only we have the right to be rich, but it's almost like our responsibility to change that consciousness. And if we want to change our planet or our world, we have to start individually here, one by one. So yes, Jay, I see that you opened the microphone. You want to say something?
Yeah, it's funny because I think it was a great start. It was a great chapter, and it just goes to show you how a lot of stuff that you hear are never true. There's that statement, money is the root of all evil. But we all know, and in reading this and learning certain things, that, money's not the root of all evil. It's what you do with money is the root of all evil. Right? How you use it, what effect it has on you. Because if it was really true, there wouldn't be all these organizations looking for money to help different groups and to help people. So, and I think that the chapter just lets you know, hey, you have the right to make money. You have the right to be prosperous. The masses think the opposite way. It's because, we're not part of the masses. We're individuals. And unless you actually created wealth for yourself, how can you give anything to anybody else? How can you be charitable? You can be charitable in your actions, but that only goes so far. And a lot of people actually do, this gives you the opportunity, once you're prosperous, to give a hand up. And it's not necessarily, once again, it's not a handout. You're giving a hand up to people and paying it forward and hoping that you teach them that same act of you paying it forward and teaching them, that when they get right, that they're to pay it forward. And this is prosperity at its best. And just the fact that, okay, if I think in that money's a horrible thing, how do I ever get further? How does society, how do people on a whole ever get further? And that's what I saw from it. You have to have a whole different mindset. Money is just an object of it's nothing. It's just an object of purchasing power that we use today. So money's not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's the act of what you do with your money, how you spend it, or how you throw it away, or how you invest it, or how you prosper other people and yourself with it. And that's basically what I got from that.
Great, thank you, Jay. So I just want to say, if you want to say anything here, Candace or Heidi, yes, great, open the microphone and I can see it, so I welcome you. Welcome, Heidi.
Well, I don't know, is it working?
Yes,
am I working?
Yes, okay. It's working very well.
The first time using it, okay. Well, first let me say thank you for you guys doing this and me finding you guys on YouTube and being a part of this on the Saturdays that I can make it. I just love being here, so thank you. And I agree, just as Arnie was saying, what came up in my mind while you were refreshing Chapter 1 was how people say that if your friend ends up in a hole, you're walking down the street and your friend walks into a hole, how can you help your friend most? By jumping in and being in the hole with them, or by staying on top of the hole and helping them out? And same with finances. You can't help people if you don't have any. And that, I struggled with that because I always volunteered, so I gave a lot of time, and so then I struggled with finances. And the interesting part was Edwene Gaines, who is also a Unity minister who teaches prosperity, like Catherine Ponder. She spoke at our church because I go to a Unity church, and she came and she says, well, you have to realize that if you tithe your time, you're going to end up with more time. So that which you tithe is what you will end up with. So if you tithe financially, you will end up with more finances, which was a spark of genius for me. And I said, wow, now I see why I always had more time. Okay. And Casey Treat was a minister in Seattle, and years ago when he would teach on biblical principles of finances, he would say that it's not, when you mentioned that it's our responsibility to be wealthy, he said that biblical principle, God says that you are there to help the poor. And he says, God presupposes that you're not one of them. So if he's expecting you to be wealthy enough to help everyone else, so he's presupposing that you're not. And like you said, permission. Sometimes we just need that permission that it's okay. And as Jay said, that money isn't just the source of evil. It is what you're doing with the money, and that's true. Yeah. So this is all wonderful. I'm so glad there's a review. How fun.
Thank you, Heidi. Candace, welcome, honey.
Hi. The key for me was permission in this chapter. Sometimes we don't even know we have a block against something unless somebody else mentions it. It's like, oh, I didn't know it. It's almost like you didn't know you thought that, but you did because you grew up with it. And for her to say, God wants you to prosper, and knowing that it's okay to prosper because I will prosper with integrity. Just the thinking that goes around changing one's mind from the money is evil kind of thinking and those kinds of things is a fabulous place for this book to begin. But there's so much more. We've got chapter after chapter, so I'll make this short.
Thank you, Candace. Yes, you're right. Let's keep going here. I mean, and again, I really invite all of us to. I have this book on my night table, So if I want inspiration here, I read one chapter, and I don't memorize it, but I mean, it's really touching to me. So don't doubt to go back and read the stories and keep integrating this information. But the chapter number 2 is equally. I mean, all of them are equally amazing here. But we really, personally, is titled "The Basic Law of Prosperity." And it's really about understanding the giving and receiving. And she claims here that we are not going to receive anything if we don't give, if we don't give out something. And to me, I always had trouble with this concept, because it's almost like my ego mind, or yes, I give, but I give because I'm going to get, or I wanted to give because then I know it's good, because if I give, I get. But it's not that way. What I understand with this chapter at that time, now in this year, is that it's not about giving, physical thing or material things only. Even though if you have it, I love it, and when I can, I give, and it's beautiful, But it's about understanding that the universe responds to our giving out. I like it the way she said. I wrote here, irradiation and attraction. It's almost like when I radiate outwards, my vision, the energy that I want to embody or experience in my physical world, let's say, I radiate that. It's like I have to be not only convinced mentally, but emotionally vibrating, because I am an energetic being. So that radiation outwards is what is a magnet and attract inwards from the outside in, if you want, the manifestation of what I'm looking for. So I love this new concept, and I forgive Monica for, understanding. And I always wanted to give, but was this kind of giving to get? It's like I don't, it's like was not feeling good. So it looks like this year I really understood with more depth, the giving is inevitable, that the universe is going to give you back where you are sending out. So important that we master our frequency, that we understand deeply that we are energetic beings, constantly vibrating here. This is an energetic form, vibrating, and that touches the entire universe, that is unconditional and unlimited. I mean, I want just to bow to who we truly are, because it's so amazing for me to embody it, to get it, in a deeper level. So that's what I got from me, the deeper understanding of the law of attraction that we know, the movie The Secret. I mean, we have so many tools today that can express that, and I got it here, and then here, and then here, and then in the heart, and looks like I'm embodying this more and more. And I support all of us to be gentle and keep going, because we take in a deeper ways, the more we talk about it and the more we investigate and integrate this information. So that's what I offer from this chapter. If someone has something to say about the basic law of prosperity, give to receive, to really understand that law. And if not, we keep going. We don't have to talk on all of them. But if I see a microphone opening here, you have any comment of how this chapter influence you? Yes, Candace, welcome.
I'm just thinking of giving and receiving as though we were dancing with each other. You know, if somebody goes this way, you move back. If they do this, you do that. You know, I'm in dancing. You know, the man sometimes leads, usually leads, and so you ebb and flow with each other, and in that give and take, you make something that's beautiful together. And on that note, I'm just that's where I am right at this moment with giving and receiving. Is that the
One.
balance produces something excellent.
Great, thank you, Candace. Jay.
Yeah, just a quick point, not necessarily on this subject, but on the book itself, or on this chapter, but on reading any book, and I think it's a good point that you made and should be brought up and let everybody understand this. Whatever you read, you know, you read through a book doesn't mean you won't and you don't ever read it again. And it's probably more important, like you said, you keep it by your side. You don't know this. It's like a manual. Sometimes you have to go back to it. Sometimes you forget what you remembered, or I know that, but I don't know it. Boy, where did I hear that? What did I see? Or there's it. So it's and you know, I've said this time and time again. When you read it again, it's like they stuck another chapter in there. How did that chapter get in there? Because you're at a different spot in your life. You understand, or they put new words in there. I never saw this before. Or wow, you get that aha moment. So I think it's important for everybody, and I'm sure, you know, and the people on here, they're all. If you're here, you're probably a reader, and but you just to reiterate that. Read it. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People because I see my attitude slipping, and I go, oh, I know it's attitude adjustment time, and I go through the book. And once again, it's just so reread it and read it and read it and read it. That's what it's there for. It changes as you change. You have different understanding, or you know, you see stuff. So I just think that point that you made is super important, and I just want to bring that out and let everybody know that. Just keep reading it.
Thank you, Jay. Yes, wonderful. And we keep going. And the chapter number 3 is called The Vacuum Law of Prosperity. And in this chapter, she's really a master, I think, I mean, the way that I understand, but she talks a lot about forgiveness, what really forgiveness is and how the universe tends or inevitably is going to fill up any empty space. And sometimes we are all, you know, filled up with memories, ideas from the past, even wounded areas, even judgments that we have against people or conflicts or whatever it is. So she really, really highlights, okay, that we need to let go of all of that. And we need to be conscious, to go inwards and to check inside. You know, if I am not prosperous today, there is something that I have to let go. And that something, you know, is a level of consciousness. All the thoughts that we have unconsciously that become conscious about scarcity. I can't, you know, I can, whatever, powerless, or, you know, money is, like you were saying before, Jay, you know, like money is dirty or evil or whatever. It's like you need to let go to bring the new in. And I understood something that I love about this chapter. You tell me after what you got, but I remember a story that she said in the chapter about a woman, I think it was, that she had a big conflict and she was going to court, you know, and also with some conflict that she had, and she was really like, I can't forgive it, you know, it's like I can't, and that, you know, I could see myself when I was really wounded, you know, about this old consciousness that I had about blaming outside and didn't know yet how to take responsibility of my own creations. So that happens. And she was saying, you know, I'm sorry, but I cannot forgive. And she was talking with her presence, God, universe. I don't like to much use God because it's so imprinted with other, you know, other concepts, if you want, or touch it from all consciousness. But you know, God or presence or the higher power, let's say, she was communicating with that and say, God, please, you know, I mean, I know I cannot help this person. I cannot forgive this person, but I know you can. So please forgive this person through me. And I was, you know, like, I love to hear that because it includes the human side of us. Sometimes our ego really takes there, you know, the position, feels hurt. And we don't have that openness yet to forgive everything. But thanks to this chapter, for me, I melted there. You know, I said, you know what? I know that the Holy Spirit or my higher self or, you know, God in me or whatever you want to call it here can. So please help me, you know, and I practice and it works. So again, go back to read this chapter. There is many human examples, you know, that help us to grow from where we are at. So it's not a theory. It's not something that, you know, is only mental. It really touches our hearts, and I think that that's important today. So that's what I wanted to say about this law that is very important to understand, because it's like, as she explained, you know, in that chapter, to empty your closet. If you know, like circulate energy, like start to move, create empty space so new things can come in, you know. So I love that dance, Candace, now that you were talking about dance, I love that dance too, and it's amazing to practice it, and again, to touch the support that you have from your higher self, or whatever we want to call it here. So who would like to say something more about this? If you get it, if you want to support, you know, all of us here saying something, or I continue with the next chapter. Okay. Yes, Heidi, go for it.
Well, you know, it's so true, because I experienced that, because majority of my life, I was walking this blessed walk, and I always knew it, and I always told people I'm the wealthiest woman you'll ever meet, because I'm blessed with friends, health, everything. And then my dad had a heart attack, and it left him brain injured, and I chose to take care of him and quit my job and things. After he died, it was like a part of me died with him, and my whole energy shifted. And it wasn't like I didn't forgive somebody, but I found I had to come to a forgiveness place in myself, of feeling that I didn't do enough, and this happy-go-lucky, easy-going, life was easy, walking in faith Heidi completely disappeared. I mean, it was an energy shift that I didn't even know I could go to that really dark, ugly place. I also realized that because my life had been so blessed for 40 some odd years, that I had to experience that, because I was lecturing on health and wellness at the time, and I remember saying, wow, you know, I feel almost guilty lecturing on health and wellness and blessings when I don't know what some of these people are going through. And so now when I speak, I've actually had the test so I can have a testimony, but everything did flatline. Finances flatlined, health flatlined, because of my own energy and not being in that forgiving and that loving and that energy space. So yeah, it was very powerful it took years to release that. So.
Oh, honey, thank you, Heidi. I love to love human beings. At this moment, I feel a lot of love for you, you know, and for our journey, because this is what, you know, wake up in us this compassion that we are. And sometimes we need to go through this journey so you can offer compassion. And compassion, again, is not a rescue. It's not oh, poor you, you know. It's to really be with passion and presence, you know, in the situation of pain. Who can hold that, you know? Like, I remember growing up, I suppose all of you too, you know, but growing up, don't cry, you know, like, feel good, you know, and especially in this positive world, you know, it's like, oh my God, don't go there, blah, blah. I think, to me, I don't know if you know, the audience here, but I teach Goddess Inspiration workshops. I really love the Divine Feminine, and I dedicated my life to support women to really embody this feminine power that men and women have. So it's not only women, okay? But as women, we are so sensitive, and as a world that I know, so that's what I teach. You know, I support women to unfold that. But there is a workshop that is called the Goddess Inanna. And this goddess goes to the underworld, and she's a goddess of heaven and earth, and that's the mythology, okay? And she chooses. It's not like she's a victim of her life, or, you know, that we became later. One day I will tell you the story, but she chooses to go to the underworld, and she has to initiate herself going through 7 gates, that's the story, where she let go of every appearance, every attachment, every identification that she has, to meet in the underworld her shadow, her dark sister is called, you know, her pain. and amazing. I mean, so as women, we have that capacity. We have that capacity in our belly, in our hearts, you know, so it's a matter of having the courage to do the journey authentically and feel what we feel, and then to forgive it from our light, not from our judgment, good or bad. I mean, things melt in the presence of the light that we are, you know. Well, as you see, I can be very excited about this, but I do love, you know, like to read, to have this opportunity, and I appreciate, I feel so much gratitude for Catherine Ponder, that she knew how to express that. Because to me, all the things that I know, you know, I'm not writing a book yet. I don't know how to express it so beautifully, and she has. And we have this chapter that can help us to understand the depth of forgiveness. So please go back and read it if you are not familiar, and let us know if we can support in any other way. As a coach, I offer my service too. You can always email Monica at drmonica.com, DOCTOR Monica.com. And you know, if I can be of support, you let me know. But I mean, this is the idea, to really experience life fully, because life is teaching us through the experience. Okay, and don't be afraid of lower energies and negative energies or whatever. I mean, you are the light of the world, you know. So we can embrace and forgive everything here. Okay, we keep going here, and then we go to the chapter for the creative law prosperity, and this chapter is fun. In this chapter, I got the permission to have desires. I want you to know that I come from a background of spiritual enlightenment, if you want. I felt that call. I need to wake up spiritually. And then, you know, I have this conflict between spiritual, you know, and nothingness and pure consciousness, and then suddenly this body and humanness and blah, blah. Powerful journey. And you know, in that spiritual world where I come from, I started with Zen, imagine. You know, desire was not really allowed, you know, like just flow with life, and there is no entity that desire anything, you know, in that level of enlightenment. That is so true. And at the same time, I see that was creating separation in my own experience in life. So that chapter really helped me to understand that it's okay for Monica, temporary form, okay, here, and temporary joy, to experience this dimension, to have desires. So in that chapter, I understood that. So if you have any residual, you know, like holding back yourself because it's not innocent or empowering or God-wise to have desires, go and read the chapter again. Very powerful. And in this chapter, she was also empowering us to have a very clear plan, very clear vision of what it is that you want, you know. Like for me, can you hear me now? Yes, I can see the head. Okay, wonderful, beautiful. So that was very empowering to me, and I hope to all of you, if you have something to say about that. But to really be clear, you know, to me, one of the things that I do with my work with Goddess Inspiration and Feminine Presence is that I love the dance between the masculine and the feminine inside us individually, men and women. This is not gender thing. This is universal cosmic sex, let's call it, you know, like how we make love with life. Well, you know, we have a masculine aspect or essence that is clear, is directional, is clarity, you know, and very well directed. And then we have the feminine side that is more flowing, you know, and going with the flow. But the feminine alone goes nowhere. And the masculine alone, you know, goes nowhere either. We have to balance these both sides, you know, and I see that with our vision boards here, or with our clarity and direction, we unite. The desire gets clear, you know, this is my masculine energy, and my feminine allow it and nurture it and sense it and, you know, and enjoy it. So we are very, I will say, divine creations here. We have all the potential in us. And that chapter helped me, you know, helped me a lot to really enjoy who we are. So yes, Heidi.
Oh, and I love that too, because the desires of your heart, I remember Abraham Hicks in one of her seminars, she says that don't be afraid of the desires because they were put there. They wouldn't have been in your heart if you weren't to manifest them and create them. And there was a story, I don't, you know, sometimes I read so much I forget which book I read what in, so it all just melds together. But I remember it was a story about a man dying, and somebody, there's not God, but somebody, saint whatever, showing them around heaven. And he takes them to this big white building, and in the white building were all these boxes that had names on them. And he says, well, what's in all those boxes? He says, well, I don't know if you want to know. He says, is there a box with my name on it? And he said, yes. And he says, may I see it? He opened up the box, and in it was every desire, every wish, everything he ever wanted. And he said, what is this? He says, these were all the desires that God was waiting for you to ask for so he could give them to you. All you had to do was ask, and they stayed in the box. So.
Oh, wow, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. In this chapter, I got that. I remember when say, you know, God expresses, you know, the universe, God, whatever we say here, but I mean, it's like, he's always expansive, you know, and expresses his expansion through our desires. I mean, for me, that was huge. So thank you, Heidi. You reinforced that. I love it.
Greg Braden, he also says, like, you know, again, the quantum physics is that which you desire, you're creating. Once you put it out there in the ethers, it might not be there now, but once you think it, put your intention into it, you're going to create it. So let's just do it, because we love people. Let's create a loving, loving world. She's gone. Can
No, I can see her lips moving, but I can't hear her. Monica, did we? Oh, Heidi's mic is shut off.
Oh no, I'm still there. Are you there?
Now it's on. Yes, I hear you.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know that we. Okay, she's off. Is Candace? Candace, are you? Can we? How come? Oh, there she comes.
Yes.
All right, she's back.
Thank you, Heidi. I didn't hear the last thing, but let's keep going with the next chapter because I'm sure people got richer with your sharings here. So thank you so much. In this chapter, and it's something that I wanted to read today because for me it was very touching, and I think I want you to imagine for a second, okay, that we have this prayer that I'm going to read right now, integrated, meaning like unconsciously crystallized or conditioning, instead of being conditioned with scarcity and limitation, that suddenly we realize and we integrate and we embody this truth. So I want to read this prayer that we all know already, but I think it's good. So if you feel like, close your eyes or sense it or whatever you feel like to do here. But it says, I am the rich child of a loving Father. All that the Father has is mine to share and to experience, no limits. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, we are this transparent, energetic expression. Divine intelligence is now showing me how to claim my own God-given wealth, health, and happiness. Divine intelligence is even now opening the way for my immediate blessings. I have faith that all that is mine by divine right now comes to me in rich abundance. My rich blessings do not interfere with anyone else's good, since God's rich substance is unlimited and everywhere for all of us, for all to use. There is no delay. That which is not for my highest good now fades from me, and I no longer desire it. My God-given desires are richly fulfilled now in God's own wonderful way. And to me, I just want us, all of us here, to imagine for a moment that we have this prayer integrated already. That you know, that comes automatically. That is a thinking process that we already believe and we live and we are integrated. This is something that I read almost every day. I will not say every day, but almost every day. I have it. I printed and I put it on my Wheel of Fortune. That at one point I think we're going to talk. Yeah, the next chapter talks about that. To read it, and I love it. So to make sure that we understand mentally to begin with, you know, the truth of who we are, extensions of God, or higher power, or whatever you want to call it, and that we have that connection that is individual, is something that comes from our hearts, you know, and that we use it and we nurture it and we experience here. So when we believe that, you know, our life is different, you know, start to become different. So, and then after that we go to the chapter number 5, that the Imagine Law of Prosperity. This was fun to me, is when I created the Wheel of Fortune that she calls, giving us an example of a man that created this wheel, you know, round and cut it in 4 quadrants, and every quadrant was spiritual life, business, family life, business life, and then you know, lifestyle, holidays and sports and things that the person likes to do. And I took, you know, pictures, and I created, so that helps me to be creative, and I enjoy. So now I have a visual, you know, image of my own desires here manifested. And, you know, I have, for example, to give you an example, I have besides the business side, but I have a picture of Africa. I would love to do a safari, but a luxurious one, you know, like to be very well treated with tents, you know, set up for me, and champagne even, you know, when I come, you know, after a full day meeting the lions and all that stuff. I have this thing that I love and I enjoy, and I put a picture there, you know, and go to Peru with my parents. And I mean, I don't know. So you can play and have fun, and I think that's where we were born, you know, to have fun and enjoy our lives. So that chapter is really good to give you not only the permission, but also ideas of how you can do that. So please go back and read that. Then we jump to the prosperity law of command. Here we go. You know, to have this confidence in ourselves where we can affirm. This is where you can command, I think, is the power that we can add to an affirmation. When you affirm something that we're constantly doing, you know, in this time we are choosing to do it consciously, and let's say that you affirm, you know, that I am the rich child of a loving father, you know, and that I command, you know, I'm clear and confident that the universe works this way, responds to my thinking. So it's very powerful to feel confident, I will say, that our words, you know, and our thinking are creating already. And the more confident you are, the more you can it's not faith at that moment for me, I don't know, it's just confidence, you know, that my declarations, my verbal, if you want, sayings of what I want, you know, are powerful enough. So that's a very powerful. I would love to see if you have any other comments about this chapter, because for me was the revelation was to be more comfortable in being clear and understanding that my commands, my affirmations, my thinking is commanding the universe to take that form, okay, and to go in that direction. So that was powerful to me. Anyone else? Yes, Candace, welcome.
This is where the creative chapter, the imaging chapter, and so on comes, it merges together, is in our spoken word when it is our creative power. That's the vehicle from which the thought in our mind of what we want reaches the outer world, is what I speak. And do I have a lot of no's or nots or don'ts or so on, and then I'm blocking myself. If I coached myself to speak positively and clearly, succinctly, and ask for what I want, and speak, you know, and resonate with integrity, and resonate with love, and all the higher values that I hold it for myself as a person, then that's what comes through in my seeking prosperity, in my work with prosperity. That also, they all blend together, and they all happen through, you know, first it's a thought before it's a thing. And the vehicle to get from thought to thing is very frequently our voice and how we speak it. Very powerful, very powerful.
Thank you, Candace. Very powerful. And in this chapter, you know, there is, I mean, she uses a language that I would love to master. That's what I'm reading this so much, you know, but it's so beautiful, like, you know, to command, to make sure that this is clear. For example, to give you an example here, is I love the highest and best in all people, like you were saying, Candace, right now, you know, like that's prosperity, you know, not only money, even though money is beautiful, but I now draw the highest and best people to me. And how many of us, you know, like we complain about this person or whatever, but start to think this way. And maybe you don't manifest it in the first day that you think one thought, you know, but if this becomes your habit, you are going to be surrounded by good people, but the best people for you, you know. So it's a matter of knowing that we are co-creators, you know. It's amazing, our responsibility and our beauty, you know. So that chapter, really the language of this, of Catherine Ponder is really, really amazing. So I mean, there is no, I have highlighted the entire chapter here, so you have to read it and take what is good for you, okay, in that way. But I mean, it was very beautiful to see that, to get comfortable with how powerful we are, you know, and to really make sure that you know what it is that you are saying and where do you focus, where is your attention going, you know. I was, first time in my life last week I went to court, and I was going to be the testimony of one of my neighbors here that whatever blah blah blah, and at the end I was not called, but I was on the court in this huge building, you know, in San Jose here in Costa Rica where I live. And you know, it's funny because I was the entire time that I was there, and I tell maybe it was, you know, 2 hours one day and 6 hours next day that I was waiting there, you know. And I was focusing on blessing and, you know, being the light there. I mean, transmitting all this energy. Can you imagine all the pain that building can hold, you know, from people being in disagreement and you know, all this stuff. So what I'm saying, to bless, to look for the best, to really start to focus on what I want, not on what I see. Not on what is already here, you know, what it is that I'm looking for, you know, and to put our eyes a little higher, you know, so we can create that higher frequency here. So that's just an example of my life. And I mean, this book is amazing to me in my life. And then we go to the law of increase. The law of increase. Well, to deeply understand, I would say that there is always more, and that is good to want more. And the difference for me, that chapter was important to me to differentiate, you know, between wanting more because you don't have enough, or wanting more from fulfillment because you are so fulfilled and so in alignment that there is always more to create, there is always more to enjoy, there is always more everywhere. So the law of increase as something innocent, as something inevitable, as a law of the universe, and to get familiar with that. So I remember myself judging myself, you know, because if I have this, let's say, car that is getting old, you know, when I want a new, I love the smell of new cars, you know, so that's true. That's something that I have to say. And I say, oh my gosh, you know, I have the memory of my last BMW in United States that I let it go when I came to Costa Rica, but I remember the sensation of that leather, and it was beige, you know, like soft beige, and the smell of the new car or whatever. And to have the right to want more, you know, to have the right to want more commodity, more comfort, more, because you don't take away anything from anybody because you want more. So that law of increase for me was very powerful, and I don't know if you have any comments about it that can support us to integrate even more. That is really the goal of this mastermind today, you know, to integrate all the chapters that we went through here and to get very comfortable with the wanting more, and to differentiate, you know, that you can want more from, how you say when you are tacaños, that's funny, I'm getting the Spanish language here, but greedy, you know, because you want more, because you come from not enough, you know, or the difference, you know, when you want more from expansion, from fulfillment. So that's something that I want all of us to meditate on, to ponder, you know, to ponder, Catherine Ponder, to ponder on it, okay? So that was interesting to me. Then we have chapter 8, very beautiful, prosperous attitude towards money. And here, of course, she supports us to really see money, or the way that I understand myself, is that money is energy, like Jay, you were saying in the beginning, beautiful, you know, like money is energy. And yesterday or before yesterday, I put a post on Facebook that if you want to become my friend on Facebook, because we are not, or something like that, go to facebook.com, Dr. Monica, because we, you know, I put a lot of posts that for me are inspirational. That's what I put them there, and many people acknowledge that they inspire them too, you know. But I was writing something about how beautiful to understand that money is unconditional love. So much unconditional love that takes in whatever it is that we project onto it. I mean, money is going to reflect your consciousness. So everyone that says there, you know, love is this or love is that, that's what you think you are about you or about life, you know. So to really, you know, like get that, to have a good relationship with money is to have a good relationship with support, a good relationship with exchange with people. You know, in the past, maybe we only have eggs and cows to exchange, I don't know. But today we are more free. And money express that freedom. You know, we can exchange things, you know, in internet, like e-commerce, you know, thanks to money, I can buy something from United States and to receive it here. I mean, it's amazing how much money can make our life easier, and really depends on our own relationship with it, that energy. That is an expression of, and here you fill up to the end, you know, that money can express whatever you choose, evil, you know, or God. And it's up to us. So to have a good relationship with this energy, to clean it up, to forgive all your thoughts about it. Sometimes I think, poor money, how much I have projected on it, you know, the scarcity world. Oh, come on, you know, I'm sorry. You know, please forgive me, you know, and keep going now with a better relationship with it, and nurturing it, grateful about it, you know, and enjoying it. Who would like to say something about this relationship with money? Anybody has noticed better relationship with money than before we were studying this kind of books? Yes, good, good. So more appreciative, you know, to let go the shame, I will say, that's what I experience myself, you know, about appreciating money, you know, and loving money, not adoring like it's the source of nothing. Nothing is the source outside. The source is inside, you know, but to love it. To love is unconditional, you know, it's not liking it, it's loving, you know, allowing it. Yes, Candace, I can hear that you open the microphone.
Well, just the joy of handing $1 to somebody to pay for something and thinking, I prosper you, I prosper this business. I'm grateful to have this money flowing through my hands to give to you. Or when I'm paying a bill, I am so grateful to have this money to pay you today. And to receive as well, to receive with that kind of gratitude. But it all is in the flow. It's kind of equal in the flow, the giving and the receiving. They both matter. They're both beautiful. I worked for a tax lawyer briefly at some point in the past, and I asked him about, you know, I just asked him about an attitude about money, and he said, you've got to respect it. You know, in other words, he held it in that middle ground of not too much and not too little, but you've got to treat it with respect. So, you know, for me, it'd be more like treating it with love, because that's more my orientation. But it still comes down to valuing
Absolutely.
it, but not holding it as the most important thing. It is just part of the picture. It's a beautiful part of the picture.
Exactly.
It helps make the picture more fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. And you remind me now, you know, something important about that chapter too, that how she teaches us here, or help us to see with clarity that when you tithe or you give to the poor or something like that, you know, give it from a place of prosperity. See the prosperity, the potential of prosperity of that person, of that entity, of that whatever church or whatever it is, the cause, you know. And that was important to me, because I have the example, all consciousness, let's say, I don't blame anybody here, but you know, the example of giving because poor them. No, poor them. I give because rich them, you know, because they are rich in essence, you know, and they have the same potential that I am made of, you know. We are all made here from the same unconditional love and unlimited potential, you know. So that was very powerful to me. And we are at the end of the session here, but it's so powerful. I love to be here, you know, in this mastermind. The chapter number 9 was really about understanding the work, Mighty Channel for Prosperity, that was dedicated to work. And she was really highlighting, you know, like to become aware of our attitude, you know, when we work. You know, are you happy? Do you enjoy your work? What is your frequency? Are you, you know, whatever you are today, even though you are looking for financial freedom, but you are today in an office, you know, from 9 to 5 or whatever it is, your situation, you know, how you spend that that time, how much you value that at the end of the month, maybe you have a check that right now is that check, limited maybe, but you know, that's what you have. And if you can really bless your work and to have a great relationship with work, at the end, work, I think, is a vehicle, is an instrument. I call my business today with social media, you know, that we have an incredible business vehicle to use, and it's the excuse, you know, it's like it's a vehicle for the money to come to me, you know, and how much do I love my company, how much do I appreciate it, how much do I enjoy it, you know, and that's for me is key. So to really spend your time, your hours working, that I work a lot and I love to work, my coaching, my workshops, you know, and then social media here, to dedicate the best, to have a good relationship with that. So that I think for me was powerful. And we are going to arrive to the last chapter that we studied here together, that was financial independence can be yours. That was last week. And deep understanding here that is going to take your clear intention and commitment. You're going to learn or practice for several years of, you know, don't really care too much about what other people think about. Like I was telling you in the beginning, you know, like when I decided to be, I remember the first time I said, you know what, I'm done with scarcity. I want to be a millionaire. Not having any idea what that was, but I felt the call to go in that direction, you know. Oh my gosh, how many friends I have, but are you know, but money is not this and money is not that, and whoa. So all my confusion was reflected in the mirror outside, you know, and I need to stick with what it is, and you know, there is some friends that I don't have anymore, you know, and so to be willing to be surrounded, to be really focused for some years, you know, and to be surrounded with people that empower you. That's what I love masterminds, you know, because we are all on the same train, on the same boat, you know. And it's so powerful, and some people you will have to say goodbye. You don't have to judge them, but you know, this is my old reflection, and I do want to go forward, so I have to look for leaders, for empowering people, for people that are more in alignment with where I'm going towards, you know, instead of being stuck there with the back. So that was the power. She was talking about concentration and conservation, to really hold on and conserve, you know, like be conservative with your own energy. Don't lose it trying to convince other people or trying to change other people. So they, you know, maybe you need to go through the pain of letting go relationships that are not more nurturing, because you change your frequency. Whoever doesn't come to this new frequency is going to be gone. And we need to know that that your heart is pulling right now towards a new frequency of prosperity. So to make peace with that, and to be clear that maybe that is the price that you have to pay. And one thing that I wanted to share, and with this I close here and open the microphone, you have to say something more, but something that I'm playing a lot these weeks is with that piece of the chapter where she shared with us how to use the number 10. And when you circulate, you know, when you give us an appreciation, let's say $10 out because you are shopping something, and you know, you pay these $10, to think in your mind, oh, great, you know, $100 are coming to me. And I was playing last week with just this little tip, I tell you, and I'm having so much fun because I went to South.
Did we lose Monica again? Or did we lose me?
No, we lost Monica. You're still there. Keep going, Jay.
Okay. What you know? I
keep finding dimes.
Ah, that's cool.
There was an interesting in the final chapter. Financial independence can be yours. She has a great part there. Dare to be different. And I think.
I lost you, I think, right?
Yeah, we kept going.
Got you back.
Oh, so, okay, good.
I think that everybody here is different, and that's the reason that you're here. And I think being different is extremely important. You know, we run it. Most people tell you can't do that, and they're half right. They can't do it because they won't do it, or they want to just be. You know, they think they want something different, but they don't know how to be different. They just want to be within the group. So I think that it's key to be different to get ahead. You have to do different things, or you're just going to be average. You're just going to be right in line with everybody else. I could go on. I have 10 million things to add to all this, and I just wanted to keep my mouth shut. But I love one thing that Heidi said, and it made me feel good, because I listen to people read and they quote, you know, I read you know, How to Think and Grow Rich, and chapter 5 and page 3, and this, and Heidi just made me feel like normal in the sense that I know I read this somewhere, I don't know where I read it, I don't know who said it, and I'm probably going to quote it wrong, but I understand what they were saying. So it was nice to hear somebody else that I understand as well read go, I don't know where I saw this, but this is what I got out of that. So I appreciated that. Back to Monica, or who was ever going to talk.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you very much. And yes, Candace, I can see that you have the microphone open. Let's be aware that we are closing the energy, but beautiful. Go for it.
Yes, just keep going. I turned it on because you went off, so.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Candace. I love to be backed up, you know, like yes, yes. So thank you so much, everyone. I think with this, we are going to get ready for the next Saturday. That is going to be June 13 already, middle of June almost. And then we are going to study the prosperity law of love and goodwill, chapter 11. I suppose we are going to have Doc Fran with us, and also Arne for sure. And I wish you, all of you, a wonderful week. Thank you so much for not only your time, beautiful, beautiful, not only your time, but also your commitment, because really to grow from scarcity to prosperity is a commitment, is a journey, and we are all here together walking that path. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful, prosperous week, and see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Bye-bye.